别光找不上去。别光找不上去。 trouble, aren't you?
Yes. This is episode number 102 of the No News Just Facts podcast, man. How is everybody doing out there? Hopefully everybody is doing well. I myself am doing all right. Back up in here. All I've been hearing on the internet, all I've been hearing on the internet is this Alabama boat brawl. Honestly, that's really the only thing I can say that's like really fresh on the internet like that. I mean, people making references to chairs and like an answer from the ancestors. The ancestors made that happen, man. Just that try that in a small town mentality. Hey, hey, man. Next time when you see a black man, just let that man do it. Just let that man do his job. Listen and just walk away. 'Cause like, goddamn, man, goddamn Avengers, damn Avengers, man. We got a couple of things. I think I want to just go ahead and start with some reacting first. I mean, I feel like I'm gonna start with the reacting. I mean, I feel like I've talked enough about the Alabama brawl. You know, there's videos on my YouTube page. You can go check that out on YouTube. I have a reaction on that. So we're just gonna get into a flurry of reactions, if you will. So get this out the way. Now we just gonna gang member interview from a former gang member named Johnny. Just gonna get into that first.
All right, Johnny.
How you doing?
Johnny, where'd you grow up? Where are you from originally?
I grew up in the San Gabriel Valley on the border of East. So I had both my parents. My father was, I would say my childhood was kind of like miserable, filled with distrust. My father was a drunk, alcoholic. My mom was Taoist Buddhist, so you know it was kind of ran like a dictatorship, and we were really young, and so it was very chaotic as a kid.
Hold on, wait.
ICU a lot of really young and
hold on.
So I'm to the ICU a lot of times, bunch of times.
What? So not only did the kids get beat, his mom got beat up too. Damn. Golly, man. Jesus Christ.
Where there was gangs, drugs, violence. We're low income, not stereotypical Asian, but we didn't really have much money. We grew up around a lot of Hispanics. There was a lot of culture shock as well. Our parents are immigrants, so they didn't really, know how to fit in. So we kind of had to learn everything from the streets. When I was young, I had a very peculiar mindset. I got jumped for the first time. Had my backpack stolen, had my shoes taken. I went home and my father asked me, "Where's your backpack? Where's your stuff?" And I said, I got jumped by 4 Hispanics, and he didn't believe me. He thought that I threw away my backpack. He thought that I wasn't trying to do good in school, so he beat me after that.
Damn.
So yeah, I kind of went through a lot with the beatings and a lot of trauma.
So
at the age of 12 years old, I actually...
So you not only did you get beat up by some kids and basically they robbed you of all your stuff, but also that's a very wild moment.
Actually joined a gang. I joined the Watchings, the Chinese triad type of gang out of, and so I joined that at 12 years old. And a lot of people ask me, why would you join that? Why would you join a gang, at the age of 12? And a lot of people would say it's probably due to, their broken home or a broken family or drugs or violence, just the environment. For me, particularly, in my opinion, I noticed that so having fun, going out with gang members, stuff like that, I thought was really fun. And the things that I didn't want to do, such as, exercising, studying, doing homework, I didn't do because I thought if I did everything I wanted to do, I would be happy. And the things that I didn't want to do, I didn't do because I didn't think it would make me happy. So I looked at the gang. I looked up to those people. And so I joined that type of lifestyle. 3 months into it, at the age of 12, I caught my first case. And that was originally a kidnapping / robbery, but they dropped the charges down.
At 12 years old.
At 12.
At 12?
And ended up, it was with a group of people, of course, but ended up catching the charge for dissuading a witness for the benefit of a gang. So ended up going to YA, California Youth Authority. I was at SRCC first, and then caught a couple fights in there, got written up. They call it level Bs. And then it cultivated the mindset to believe in myself even more. I really trusted myself because I had seen rapes, I had seen murders, I had seen stabbings, fightings. I learned how to fight there. They call it gladiator school for a reason. You fight a lot. And I learned the 2-second takeoff rule, meaning if you feel disrespected within 2 seconds, you have to handle it. I did 4 years there, and it was really, really traumatic. And I get out, 67 days, 2 months and a week. I catch my second case. This time I'm an adult. They try me as an adult. It's 2 counts of assault with deadly weapon. Again, it was supposed to be a robbery and attempted, but they dropped the charge down. I pled out. They gave me 10 years, 85%, so 8 and some change. So yeah, I get to prison, and it's a whole nother ballgame. It's first off, I'm Chinese, so being there, we were outnumbered. It really was a racial thing, whereas in YA, it was more of gangbanging. You have to drop everything, and you have to represent the other car or the race, right? So.
And I can only imagine as white people, black people, and Hispanic people when he goes to jail. I'm sure the Chinese are the smallest population.
I learned how to program the rules and regulations and everything, and I was able to really start to kind of function in prison. I went through a lot of depression, so I had seen some counselors in there, and I'm just being honest. I was able to get my GED. I was able to get anger management. It felt inside of my heart. No matter what I did, I really couldn't overcome this emptiness and this void. And it didn't matter what I did. I just always felt this sadness and feeling inadequate as a human being. And so, some of the older homies, the people in there, the people who kind of represent us, we usually look to them for advice. So one of the older guys, some old Chinese dude, he's like, bro, you should start reading, and working out and kind of get your mind off of things, because he noticed that I was kind of like an overthinker. And so I started reading. I read the Quran in there front to back 3 times, read the Bible in there front to back 2 times. And it didn't really do anything for me, honestly. So I get out after doing my stretch. I paroled out of CRC Norco, and I meet my mom, and she didn't really visit me much. She's an older lady. She didn't know how to navigate the correctional facilities and stuff like that, so she didn't really visit me. But I noticed a difference in my mom. She had this inner peace about her that I really didn't. She was still married to my father, her husband, who was still Mom, I'm not, I don't believe in God. We were raised Buddhist. I'm good. So she said, fair enough. She didn't push. She didn't say anything. She just let me be. So as I got out, I had that heart that I wanted to still do better and do good. I had lived my whole life doing bad things and following myself, trusting myself. So I wanted to get a job. I wanted to help my head for even McDonald's, FedEx, UPS, all the places that they say they hire convicted felons. And I wasn't showing any love, honestly. But immediately I went back to the streets. I started to sell drugs again. And at that time, I was still on parole. So it was very risky looking over my shoulder. And I just felt like this was not something I could make a career out of. And so at the time was, if I'm selling all these drugs, it's risky. But if I just rob someone who sells all the drugs, then I would inherit and gain a lot of money. So it was me and a friend of mine in the car. And, when I stepped to go to the right of the car, my friend stepped in front of me. So naturally I went to the left of the car. as I'm walking up on the driver's side of the car, I hear 3 gunshots, you know, and when it rang out, I actually assumed initially that it was my friend who shot the dude. You know, I was like,
Guy that shot your friend.
You know, he was just laying there. I remember vividly, like the sounds, the noise that he was making, and he was dying. And there I'm holding him, and he died in my arms. You know.
Dang.
Yeah. So every time I think about that, I get a little emotional. But, you know,
You probably would have been gone.
you know, as I seen that, I started to really think in my life, like I could feel death around the corner. You know, it didn't matter what I would do. I felt like my time, I was on borrowed time. I felt like I was gonna die soon. And 3 days after that, I had received a letter from one of my friends, just a childhood friend. He grew up with us in the projects and these types of things. And
What the hell?
3 days after that, I find out that he had committed suicide in jail.
Oh.
So there was death all around me, and I was feeling that. You know, it was creeping up on me. And, you know, miraculously, my mom actually, a couple days after these incidents had happened, her car had broken down. And she was like, hey, Johnny, like, I need you. You know, I didn't spend all my life, you know, being bad to her, so I wanted to treat her well. So I took her to the church. But I told her very specifically, I don't want to be evangelized. I don't want to talk to the pastor. And so when I get there, I remember this pastor runs out, and he's like, hey, Johnny, you know, good to see you, and why don't you come on in for some food, you know? And they had made like some black bean noodles. And that's actually my favorite dish. You know, I love eating black bean noodles. For those Asian Sundong people out there who know what I'm talking about, it's like a delicacy for us. You know, I grew up eating that stuff. So I was like, what's the harm in eating? You know, but I told the pastor, I don't want. He asks me 2 questions that really kind of shocked me. You know, he said, are you a sinner? And do you know what sin is? And at that time, I felt a little angry, to be honest, because I felt like that was a loaded question. Like, who's not a sinner? You know, we're all born imperfect. We're all flawed
Right,
as human
yeah,
beings. We've all
sure.
made, you know, bad decisions in our life and stuff like that. And then, you know, you go against God, or you know, shoot people, stab people, you know, lie to people. That's a sin. And he said, not so. And that was the first time that it kind of like, he shook my world upside down. I was like, what do you mean? You know, this is kind of weird, because that's what I always learned. Even though I wasn't Christian, Catholic, or anything like that, I knew that doing bad things, the first thing is, it's trusting yourself above the word of God. So trusting yourself more than God, that's what sin is. And number 2, it was inheritance. So he explained to me the analogy of, you're Chinese, you didn't choose to be Chinese. You were born that way. Your father was Chinese, his father was Chinese, etc. It was passed down. Likewise with sin, it wasn't that you did anything wrong, but your father.
See what he's getting at. Okay.
Was evil, he was sinful, and then it passed down to us. So we were born, you know, hey, don't follow the way that daddy went, you know, like be good, respect your elders, etc., etc. Never taught him how to lie, steal, or do
Don't do
anything
what
like
I
that.
did. Yeah.
But at the age of 4, you know, he loved eating gummy bears. And I remember, like, he would always want gummy bears. If he could just live off of gummy bears, he would do it. But with the veggies, he even got to a point where he would steal the gummy bears. He would scoot the little stool over, climb on top, reach at the top of the cabinet, pull out the gummy bears, and I caught him red-handed. I'm like, what are you doing one day? And he was like, nothing, Dad, nothing. You know, so who taught him that? I never taught him any of that evil stuff, but it was part of him. And it was something that was actually, where are the apples? But if you plant it, as it grows, it'll only produce apples. No matter how hard it tries, it cannot produce oranges or mangoes. Likewise, when you look at a baby, where's the sin? It's very cute, it's loving, but as it grows, as it matures, all you see is sin. They start to, you know, lie, they start to cheat, steal, they can even.
Them, because the world is full of sin, and whatever they see around them is what they basically emulate and put onto themselves. Okay. It's just like how I used to watch TV a lot when I was a child. There are things that I saw on television that I would kind of like take and go say at school, or take and go say around my friends, or something gained from TV is what I emulated when I wasn't watching TV. You know, that rebellion stuff is real, for real.
So when I saw that, it really made a lot of sense to me as a person. And I was able to, you're an imperfect person trying to produce perfect results. Of course you're gonna fall short. So that's why I had emptiness and depression and loneliness inside of my heart, because he was showing me that it wasn't these surface level things, but it was at the core of the heart, because everything is rooted in the heart, right? Everything came from the you'll realize that you'll get to the root of it, which was sin produces everything. And I started to realize, oh, I was looking at it from a wrong perspective. So he said, it's okay, you know, and then he used the analogy of like a car, and he was saying that there's a braking system in the car, and it must overcome the accelerator. Otherwise, you know, if the people who need to have self-control. If we don't have self-control and our desires are like the accelerator, if it keeps going, I want to do drugs, I want to make money, then if you don't manage that, you'll crash out in life and you'll live miserably. And when he was saying these things, it was hitting me in the core of my heart. Like, wow, this guy knows me, but I just met him. And I really didn't understand how he knew me through and through. You don't have the capability to stop yourself. And so you need something else to help you. And in that case, he said, that's where I come in as a pastor. He said, I am your braking system, right? So at that time, he had asked me this one question, and he said, how is your relationship with your father? I said, it's horrible. I honestly hate it. But he had mentioned, okay, so listen to me very carefully. He said, when you meet your father, I want you to apologize to him. And I was like, when I was born, he beat me and he wasn't there for me. And I felt like just so angry when he asked me to apologize to him. And you know what he said was, he said, Johnny, you're right. But because you're right, that he beat you and you didn't have a good childhood, you're also miserable. And you feel that pain. And he said, why do people argue? Why do people fight? Why is there no peace? Because two people are right. You're right, I'm wrong. The other party thinks, no, I'm right, you're wrong, right? And then they start to fight, and then there's no peace. But when one person becomes wrong, he says, then everything drops and just move forward. So at that time, I put down everything I felt, and I trusted this man, right? And I was like, okay, I'm not gonna trust myself. Let me see what he says, and let me just try it out. What's the harm in trying it out? So I call my father, and it's such an awkward phone call. I haven't talked to him for years. And I say, hey, Dad, it's Johnny for you.
Wow.
And I was like, I got a little angry, and I don't need your money, but kind of simmered down. And I was like, Dad, I just want to talk to you. It's really urgent. I need to speak to you about something. I said, okay. So we planned to go to this pho restaurant in Alhambra. And we get there. He's sitting across from me. I'll never forget. It's awkward. There's so much tension. What the pastor told me, just move forward, just apologize. It's okay. I am your braking system, right? So I told him, Dad, bad.
Damn.
Sorry.
I feel
I'm
that.
sorry that I wasn't there for you, that I didn't help, and I didn't live up to your standards. And then my father actually, he started crying. I couldn't control my drinking, and that you had to suffer because of that.
Yeah.
20 years of pain, anger, frustration, it was crushed. We hugged it out, and now we have a great relationship with him, and I trusted myself. If I tried to understand and wrap my head around it, if I held my own righteousness, I would have never experienced this.
He would have never known what it was like to get something that was holding so much weight on him off, even when you don't know. That's what that pastor was trying to get through to this man right here.
At the core of my heart, Pastor was dissecting it and fixing it from the inside out. And when I seen that, I was so thankful. Wow, this pastor, he knows something that I don't know. For the first time in my life, I didn't trust what I saw and what I felt. I left it in the hands of someone who was better than me, who knew God, who lived happier than me, who was more peaceful than me. And when I was connected to that, I was able to overcome everything. I see my father every week now. I just showed him, hey, I'm happy, Dad, and I love you. And that love really overcame everything, so,
Forgiveness.
Yeah, forgiveness. And it wasn't like I wanted to, but when I connected to something, that was stronger than me, like my pastor, I want the help. A lot of people, we're on Skid Row, and they talk about homelessness. Oh, the problem is homelessness. Well, if you peel that back, it could be mental issues, mental health. If you peel that back, it could be, drugs and whatnot. But the truth is, it's at the core of the heart. I believe it's sin. And if you don't get rid of that aspect, then that begets everything else. Say I have cancer, and if I'm losing my hair and if I'm losing weight, well, if I put a wig on and I just eat and fatten up, it doesn't get rid of the cancer. The pastor planted hope inside of my heart. It casted everything out. He never said, don't do this, stop doing drugs, stop gaming. He never told me that. He didn't give me a dime. What he gave was hope inside of my heart. And when that happened, we naturally dropped everything else that was hopeless. I clinged on to drugs because I thought that was my sin. He said, why do you think that Jesus had to die for you? Well, because you're a sinner, you're born into sin, you can't stop sinning, so you'll always be empty, you'll always be miserable. But when you think about God, he paid for all of your sins. He made you righteous, and I'm like, he made me righteous? Like, I'm a sinner. So he said, you have a choice to make, Johnny. Are you gonna trust what you think and what you feel, which is constantly changing? It's like the ocean, high tide, low tide. 1 minute I love this, I'm not gonna do drugs. Next minute, I'm really changing. If a person says one thing and does another, he's a liar. So do you trust his heart that lies to you? Or are you going to trust the word of God that never changes? No matter what, God died for you. He perfected you. He made you holy. Past, present, and future sins are gone. And when I believed, I put, again, myself down and my thoughts down, and I trusted the word of God, that power, $10,000 for you. And I say, let's go to Arizona, In Phoenix, in 1 week, I'll give you $10,000. If you believe in me, if you trust what I say, you to Arizona with $10,000, you will not receive the blessing, right? So it's important to where you put your beliefs in. People say, Lord is my savior. Well, what did he save you from? He saved you from your sins. So if he saved you from your sins and you still think you're a sinner, that must mean he failed, and he didn't. He says in the Bible that well, where do righteous people go? Righteous people go to heaven. I always thought I was gonna die and go, maybe not to hell, but somewhere where evil people go, because I was an evil person. I did a lot of things that I'm not proud of. But, as I had that hope that,
but
hey,
you're
I
not
don't
the
have
only
to
one
live
who's done something
this
evil.
mind, this heart was deceiving me, telling me that I was, excuse my language, but fuck it. I'm gonna do whatever I want, because your self-worth is gone. Your confidence gone. Everything is out the window. So, what I'm doing nowadays is I'm going to prison, and I'm a prison minister, and I preach my testimony and this story to people, and it really changes their lives, because everyone is telling people, hey, stop doing bad, stop doing evil. The problem is they're not understanding that trusting in themselves is the root of all evil, because we're flawed as human beings, right? And if we're flawed, we cannot produce perfect things. We actually can't produce good things. We can try, but at the end of the day, we feel this emptiness, and there is no real purpose inside of your life, and that's something that people really resonate with, because I went through that. When I look at my life, I thought it was a curse. 12 years old in YA, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be dead. I'm supposed to be on the streets here with these people, strung out. But as I see that God was leading.
A lot of the thinking that he's thinking is like under the well, in the bayou type thinking, versus like swimming into the mainstream type thinking. Your bottom of the barrel type thoughts, your darker thoughts, versus trying to see where the light is. I thought like that for, if it wasn't one thing, it was another thing. But just gotta trust in the Lord and know that He has your heart, even in the worst.
The fixing and the renewal of the heart. And so there's people with LWOP, life without parole, and I don't tell them, hey, you need to change. Why did you murder people? You need to make a decision. No, what I tell them is, do you know what God did for you? Do you know that sin it was part of you? It's not that you wanted that evil thought, evil nature, then you're able to live well, and you're able to connect to the pastor. You're able to connect to people who are better than you, and then their happiness, their hope will pour into your heart. And once that changes, they start to, become mentored. They start to also mentor other inmates, and we're making a big impact in all these prisons. I go to Thailand. I also preach I'm from the San Gabriel Valley. I'm from Hoa Ching. How can I be talking about God? Well, I really feel like it wasn't me. I feel like God had prepared this for me, and he had showed me something while he gave me a chance. If he never explained to me, these things, I would probably be dead or in prison.
How's your brother?
Oh, he's good. He's out of prison. He got out about 4 years ago. He comes to church with me as well, and yeah, he's happy. He's really happy.
It's great. It's a hell of a story of.
We put our power down to trust in ourselves and believe in ourselves, then truly God can work, because then we start to lean on him. Like I said, it didn't make sense to say sorry to my father. It made more sense in my head for him to apologize to me. But when I put that down, truly I became happy. And I never thought that I was able to experience God through this. And my father now, like I said, comes to church. He hated church. He was like, they brainwash you. They don't give them your money. There's only women at church because it was just all this stuff. But when he saw that I had stopped going to prison, I had stopped doing drugs, stopped carrying a gun, started to really pique an interest in him. And so he himself, through God, through Jesus, because he didn't fail. Not because we do well, not because.
All right. That is the end of that video. I can't remember where I had seen that guy before, but I think I had heard like a little bit of his story. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move on to agent detail what happened. So we're gonna react to that. Hopefully everybody's doing well out there.
There is a lot of things I cannot say because borderline, like, I'm actually trying to be so careful with my words because anything you do say, you
They're gonna use it in court.
all reality. But
They're gonna use it in court.
Okay, all right, we know the truth, bro. I don't even know what I could say. I was really told to say nothing for right now. They're like, don't say, like, just for right now, chill, bro. What thug activity, bro? When everything is completely settled, I'll be able to fully. But bro, like, there's a lot of stories. There is so many stories. There's the stories before. There's the stories when I was inside. But there's a lot of stories. Some of it is funny. And when I got out, I wasn't even in the mood to record. Hopefully mine doesn't ever release. I'm not gonna lie. I was trying to.
Somebody's gonna find his
mugshot.
mugshot.
I'll be honest with y'all, man. Okay.
Somebody's gonna find your mugshot, buddy. Somebody is gonna find all y'all mugshots.
So look, I don't feel comfortable talking about anything until things is settled because I don't want to complicate things further. But is what it will numb. It's still numb. I cannot feel the back of my right hand. I can feel the front of it. I cannot feel the back of it. It's numb. And I tried telling them it's numb. Can you please loosen it a little bit? But everyone thought I was lying. So I don't know when I'm gonna get the feeling in the back of my hand. But I lifted today. I was really nervous about that, but I didn't drop anything, fortunately. There's gonna be lots of funny stories. When we was inside, there was one really funny story. I can share this one. When we were inside, it was like, we were like 40 deep, right? It was 40 deep. And
Damn, 40.
there was
40
a guy in there that was like a masseuse.
A
And
masseuse.
you know, like, niggas was sore, bro. Like, you know, after being in the handcuffs for so long and stuff like that. On everything, bro. On everything. There's a couple niggas.
A masseuse
Bro,
in
this
it.
nigga told us that he does massages naked.
Whoa. Nah, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh, that's funny. That was hilarious. That's funny as hell.
On everything. We watch this nigga get a massage and go, oh. And then,
Oh,
bro,
my
it
God.
was like, bro, it was a long
That's
day, I'll tell you
funny.
that much. At Lifetime. That's so crazy. I still need a massage right now. I'm not gonna lie. My shoulders are still fried. It's not fucking pre-recorded. I'm just like, bro, like, you know how shit goes, chat. Like, there's certain things I can't say, but when I can, I will. And simple as that. Bro, it was crazy. There was one nigga, bro, I have so many random stories.
Can imagine.
Bro, I have so many. I'm not, bro, niggas keep saying clone this, clone that. Bro, what the fuck? Bro, what are you talking about, man? Yo, chat. Bro, I was streams out there, chat. Y'all know I wanted to do two IRL streams out there. I didn't get a chance to do none of that. My streaming backpack got fried. Bro. Bro, I'm not talking about other people's situation, chat. It was completely on them whether or not they want to say stuff or whatever. But
They're talking about the rest.
Bro, okay, hold on. Yeah, I gotta move on. I don't want to say something and then, you feel me?
Somebody gonna clip it.
Yo, oh my God. It was, first of all, hold on, wait. Okay, chat. For a while, I'll be honest with y'all. For a while, I thought that I have seen the pinnacle of glaze. I thought I had seen all the that was underage. He was 15. And he wanted to be in holding with another nigga so bad, he lied and said he was an adult. And he was stuck for hours, for 12 hours on everything, just to be able to. All the people underage, I'm pretty sure they all got released, like their parents, like, you feel me, picked them up and some stuff like that. This nigga was willing to risk it all just to be in the same.
Let me see if I could think who that could be. I mean, I see in the chat that it's like right there in the chat that it says Duke. Everybody's saying Duke. Somebody who's risking it all are regular people like you and me. Like, the obsession is crazy. The obsession is crazy.
I have seen everything there is to see.
No, that's
because
crazy.
Never in my life did I think there was a nigga capable of that right
That's
there.
crazy,
I have
yeah.
never, bro. Never. But, like, yeah, my shoulders was really sore. Like I borderline wanted to amputate him when I was like, if there was a way for someone to just cut him off, I was like, just cut them bitches off, bro, because the pain is too severe right now. But my shoulders is recovering really well. My hand is really the only thing that's still kind of fucked, but you know, I didn't realize how painful handcuffs could be until that, and then hopefully everything could be resolved. And yeah, man, First of all, I miss y'all niggas, bro. I'm so sorry. Like, no, I'm not even sorry, bro. I deserve it, nigga. I really just wanted to not do shit for a couple days. I really just wanted to, like, there was a couple things I needed to handle and stuff like that, bro. But, like, if you reached out, first of all, I want to say I appreciate it because a lot of people did reach out. You feel me? Asking if I was okay. My phone, even remotely, I didn't want to be near my phone. I didn't want, bro, like, none of that. I just wanted to be solo, dolo. You feel me? Just relax for a little bit. But I decided not to. I was like, bro, let me just take the day to just relax. But I almost never take days to just relax. Yeah, bro. So if you reached out, bro, I genuinely appreciate it. Thank you for caring and giving a fuck. I was really nervous. My mom, who just landed in Ethiopia, was gonna, like, my mom panics over everything. I could tell my mom, like, oh, I stubbed my toe, and she's gonna blow my phone. Like, she's gonna call me non. And keep in mind, like, when I'm inside, I don't have access to my phone or nothing, so I don't know what everyone else knows. So I'm just really hoping. I'm in my head. So as soon as I didn't hear anything from her, and I'm sure Waleed kind of like filled people in, if anything. And so I was like, yeah, she'll be alright and stuff like that. Because she is a type to worry. So you can't, you know, if your parents is a type to worry, you already know you can't share certain information with them because safe, I'm home, I'm figuring everything out. You feel me? I'm confused, all of it, but that's just what it is. You feel me? She's your mom, yeah. My brother knows I'm good. Like, I'm always good regardless. Like, I'm good, bro. But you feel me? So anyway, I appreciate it.
Well, basically, he didn't really tell us anything, but I mean, you know, for legal reasons, he didn't really get into that. Switch gears and go to what's this, Instagram? Let me see. What is that? Instagram.
The phone. I'm like,
Instagram. Going to Instagram. Oh, yeah, this is something to react to right here. And I never got a chance to react to this. Hold on.
And I'm a...
Hold on. So, I never got something. I can't remember what I was actually reacting to with this one. But, openly gay Crip shows his masculine voice. First of all, I'm still on the fact that, like, I'm still, like... Anyway, let's look at this.
throwing up my little Crip sign, but meanwhile I'm twitching and shit, you know. Got on my little, cause I had this little. I always had like man bags, you know, but I'd be calling them my purse. So anytime when I would be with my homegirls, you know, I would be acting like a
Masculine, stiff voice. I don't know what that sound like.
what I used to do.
Let me hear you. Let me hear your masculine voice. Let me hear you. Okay.
Yeah, let me.
Hey, yeah. So what's up with that play? What we doing? Like, what's going on? What hole? Hey, like, you know. And I'm up here throwing up my little Crip sign, but meanwhile I'm twitching and shit, you know. Got on cause I had this little. I always had like man bags, you know, but I'd be calling them my purse. So anytime when I would be with my homegirls, you know, I would be.
What that sound like?
What I used to do.
Yeah, let me.
Hey, yeah. So what's up with that play? What we doing? Like, what's going on? What hole? Hey.
I mean, really, he just still sound like the same. That's hilarious. No, that's funny. Let's see here. Reason why I was down here looking for something, I can't remember what it is. For real. Let's see here. I think it was this right here.
So I just left the restaurant after waiting 30 minutes for a date to show up. I've been consistent talking with this girl for 2 weeks, trying to get to know what she likes, what she doesn't like. I made plans. I picked the restaurant, the day, and the time. You know, I've done everything to be just the kind of guy that would value somebody's time. Like,
You gotta charge. She obviously just bored. Charge it to the game and move on. You ain't have to make no video about it. Just charge it to the game and move on. She obviously is just playing. She obviously was just playing games with you. Charge it to the game, move on. If she not serious, that's her loss. You look real crazy right now doing this.
I'm just looking for my friend someday, a father. I'm trying to do everything that's right, and I just get stood up. Like my feelings didn't even matter. Sitting there eating a meal by myself and realizing that nobody even cares.
Go work out. Men get stood up by women all the time, bro. Go work out, gain some confidence. You was talking about sitting at a restaurant alone eating. You should make that a normal thing. Go sit at a restaurant, eat alone. Because when you can eat and be eating alone or going to go do something alone shouldn't be something that's like, oh yeah, that's lame if you go out by yourself. No. If you take yourself out on a date by yourself, you know how much power you have if you can go out by yourself and enjoy yourself and not. You shouldn't be one of those people that just like, oh yeah, I can't go out unless somebody's with me. No, that's how you let evil. That's how you let a certain mentality destroy your chances of being a better you. If you can go out by yourself, that's the real joy. That's the real power. That's the real happiness. That's how you know you making progress if you can go and be out by yourself. Then, matter of fact, I would go to that restaurant, sit there, order a drink too, and then after that, probably go to the gym after I'm done with all of that. Why? Because it's small potatoes. Focusing on whether somebody likes you so much and start focusing on becoming a better you, the better off you'll be.
About people anymore. Like, alien dating shouldn't even be this hard. It shouldn't be this hard to find somebody. It shouldn't be. What? Ladies, tell me, what did I do wrong?
That's why it's a war between men and women. That's why there's that's why dating looks like a joke right now. That's why dating looks like a joke right now. Nobody wants to actually be together anymore. Nobody falls in love anymore. Nobody wants to get out. Charge it to the game and keep pushing, my guy. Hopefully that didn't cause you any emotional distress where you want to. We gonna keep on pushing. Is there anything on here that I'm supposed to be trying to figure it out? Other thing. All right. So, Costco employee claims she was called into the office for being out of dress code. Although you have the right attire, you have the wrong body shape. Come to work in bigger clothes.
I just want to know, do I look inappropriate for work? My dress code is a polo and dress pants or jeans, no rips. I'm dressed appropriately. However, I was called into the office because of my body shape. And I was told I need to wear bigger clothes. I don't appreciate being body shaped.
Now, you know damn well you are not dressed appropriate. You know damn well that you just try to show that ass. You trying to show that, you know what I'm saying? Trying to show that thing at the back. Come on now. Come on now. The way you look, it's the pants. It's them pants, man. It's the pants and the shirt, matter of fact. It's too tight. It's too tight.
I'm being body shamed. They don't know what I went through in my life and the trauma that I went through to have to deal with being body shamed.
Pulled me away from doing my job to tell me that I have the wrong type of body to wear the clothes that I'm wearing.
It's not the body, it's the clothing. I don't think it's the body, it's the clothing. They're women who are built just like her that work somewhere like Walmart or something like that, and they wear the size they wear, and I don't know. I think that's probably like a inner, if that's discrimination or just maybe somebody just being bothered with the way you, like, how long have you been working there is what I would like to know. How long have you been working there? And, while I'm here, does Costco have a dress code for employees? Let me see here. What is the dress code at Costco? What is the policy? What's the dress code? Okay. Costco store location. Let me see. On the sales floor, you are expected to wear a uniform. Warehouse workers can dress more casually but adhere to safety protocols. Corporate employees must dress business casual. So I can only assume that she works on this. Maybe a uniform shirt. But the pants, I'm sure she had to provide on her own. Yeah, I think it's a small. I don't think this is really a big issue. I just think, want to continue working there, just buy a bigger shirt, buy some bigger pants. It's not your body. It's just the clothing you have. It's just like tight. They can see all of your, you know what I'm saying? See all of your crevices.
I have on regular dress pants, and your excuse was the men in the tire shop and the boys keep stopping and looking at me. That's not my type of mental trauma I might have from having to be misunderstood. For me to come to work to have to hear, oh, you have the wrong body shape, to wear the right clothes though, because I'm in dress code.
I just want to know.
I mean, you ain't seen other women no BS. Like those dress pants are tight, tight enough to see some things. You know what I'm saying? Basically. But yeah, I mean, if you still work there, let me see. I think I'm done. Let me see. Let's see here. All right. Do I want to get into? Let me see. That might be. I don't know. That might be it on Instagram. Don't really got a lot of stuff on here. I already talked about the Ugly God situation. I've already talked about the Macaroni Tony situation. You can go to my YouTube and find that. Let me see. Bro.
Well,
Dang.
turns out that 65-year-old man could really throw up.
Man, look at this man's face. Jesus. Boy, the spirit of the ancestors came through and just gave all them black folk the fuel. Just man. It's still videos coming out on that dang thing, man. That's so crazy. My goodness.
Well, turns out that 65-year-old man could really throw up.
I'm pretty sure he seen what was going on the internet and was like, okay, yeah, I got to say something about that. At least he admitted he took his L. At least he sitting up there admitted that he took his L, man. God, dog, look at his face, man.
Well,
man.
Turns out that 65-year-old man could really throw up. Well,
boy, they got dealt with for real, man. Oh, okay. So President Trump says he will get rid of 87,000 IRS agents Joe Biden hired that are trying to take your money and destroy your lives if he's elected.
I will say no to 87. Say no to 80.
Wasn't he president before? Didn't he like promise that Mexico was gonna pay for a wall? And that didn't happen. Didn't he? It would be crazy to think like he gets back into like office. I want him and figure out what like he's hiding, what's really going on, and try to make it seem like on the side of whatever party he was like representing, they actually. Who is he doing business deals with? What is he doing that is illegal? That's not on record, aka taxes. So it's kind of funny to hear him say something. Show his taxes. So that's funny. It's hilarious. They out here trying to give Trump 600 years in prison, but he's worried about trying to get elected again. Like, bro, once they figure out how long you gonna be in jail, it's crazy. It's crazy. I can't discredit what he, some of the good that he did, but I mean, for all of the good, there's like millions of bad that he did that doesn't. Go to, let me see, TikTok.
Too, which is my son's nickname.
Whoa, what did I?
I'm selling out the Apollo. Inside my body is hollow.
Cut it off. I was not ready for that. Jeez. Goodness. Cut it off, man. Let me see. Golly, TikTok. Come on. Come on, TikTok. Let's see what I got on my favorites that I saved here. Okay, well, there's no sound. I'm trying to remember how to unmute it.
And the fake couponing. The feds believe.
Let's try it again. Hold on. I'm reacting to on TikTok. His name is... What is his name? Federal_CB_061. He does a lot of videos on like infamous like kingpins and other people made them like legendary in some way. So I'm gonna just take a look at this, react to this, just to do something different. I'm always on YouTube. I'm always on YouTube. Instagram and Twitter. I never really get on what is it called? I never really get on TikTok like that. So let's just react to this. He has a lot of good videos. So we're gonna get in.
Lori is from Virginia Beach. Lori is known as the queen pin of fake couponing. The feds believe her and her husband in a 30.
She's the fake queen. She's the queen of fake couponing. It's crazy. That is crazy. That's a funny name to have. The queen of fake coupons. It's hilarious.
$30 million fake coupon scheme.
Damn, $30 million. Wait a minute.
Her love of cars. Her love for cars would all start at the age of 15 when she got her first car, a 1994 Toyota Celica.
Yeah.
By the age of 16, she would work 2 or 3 jobs just to fix up her Toyota Celica. She wanted to put a nice stereo system in her car, add horsepower to the motor, would eventually win 4 or 5 trophies at car shows for her car. Her car was so nice, it was even featured in a magazine. Plus, it was even featured on Spike TV. Her car was receiving so much attention that she even got some sponsor deals. Plus, a total stranger even made a website for it. Eventually, Lori started making hella.
Damn.
She would go on and start making 6 figures over her car for what she called a part-time job. Around this time, she would even start modeling.
Start like thinking about frauding, conning, where did it start? Because from what he's saying in the story, what I'm getting is everything's going well.
The feds would say Lori operated a complex coupon scheme. They believe she used her social media to sell people coupons. She mainly used Facebook and Telegram to find couponers so she can sell her coupons to them.
Of course, Telegram, those are pretty prevalent when it comes to people trying to do scams.
She used the username MasterChef to sell her coupons to people. She used her computer to design and produce the fake coupons. Her coupons were designed so good, you couldn't even tell them apart from the official one. The PayPal or Bitcoin in the form of payment. Everything would eventually start going downhill when a woman bought some coupons from her and almost was arrested when she tried to use them.
Oh, snap.
So the lady would eventually report Lori to the CIC, Coupon Information Center. After the lady told the CIC
Coupon
about
information. It goes. Queen of fake coupons. If people are like frauding coupons, I ain't never heard of nothing like that. That's funny. That's hilarious.
CIC would eventually buy some coupons off of her. Once the CIC received a fake coupon,
Like, making fake coupons was like a felony. Like I wonder how much time she got in jail for that. I didn't know making fake coupons was like, because I mean I had heard about it because I when I was a cashier, and whenever I would go tell my what they called them a customer service manager, there would be like a whole thing going on.
when they raided her house, they found almost $1 million in fake coupons. Plus 2017 to May of 2020, Lori and her husband ran their fake coupon scheme. The feds will also discover she defrauded Medicaid and food stamps out of $43,000. Lori got 12.
She defrauded Medicaid and food stamps too. They was running the whole. Man, she was really frauding for real.
12 years in prison while her husband got 7. I was actually in Petersburg camp with her husband. He should still be there to this day. This is
fake coupons. They was frauding food stamps and Medicaid. Wow, that there is that right there is. I ain't gonna lie, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. That's some crazy-ish going on, man. To be frauding coupons is crazy, man. Okay, so Ugandan
in humility
president apologized to African Americans for the role of African kings in slavery
and brokenness, to repent for the sins of the leaders. This great sin brought untold pain and misery to millions of people of African descent, and judgment to the African people who remained on the continent. Therefore, on behalf of all the African leaders, past and present, all of them, I acknowledge the part that we played in this tragedy, and today we ask for forgiveness. We seek forgiveness for the great pain and loss of African descent around the world, and we ask their forgiveness.
Wow.
We plead spiritual, mental, emotional, and economic bondage it brought.
Wow.
Today, we reopen the door to our brothers and sisters of African descent to return home to the continent of Africa.
Come back home. That's why I keep seeing Ugandan people say, come back home. Okay, wow. This is powerful.
Africa, the land of their ancestry and the spiritual homeland of all African people. We welcome you home, dark past, and work towards a better future. In Jesus' mighty name, we pray. Amen.
Wow.
In
now see, there's an open door right there. Door and embrace what is that? The Ugandan president has said. I saw this. It says Africans are mad at America. Putin is us and we are Putin. Wait for it.
President Putin, and we want to say to President Putin, it is not us, the coward Ramaphosa, who could not guarantee that we will not arrest Putin. We are Putin, and Putin is us, and we will never support imperialism against President Putin. Growth and Opportunity Act that if we don't arrest Putin, they are going to take away our capacity to take a decision of our own. China, India, and Brazil not to come to BRICS summit in solidarity with President Putin.
Okay, I'm trying to understand what is even like up with this. Because I saw that and there was a reason why I saved it, but I didn't know why I was saving it. So we're just going to keep looking because there's more videos.
All of resources and money to be made, because Africa and India, specifically India, are going to be the global superpowers of the future. Not America, and definitely not Europe. And by the way, Africa's still colonialism.
Facts.
Colonialism.
That's a fact.
1700s, before colonialism. Now they are making their own country. They're European. This is Africa. Bye. We have a huge problem with this. Oh, Russia and China all are partnering with China and Russia. Yeah, all of Africa doesn't want us. You know what they want? They don't even want to conquer, which they could. They don't want to conquer economics. They don't want to conquer the economy of the world. They want a fair.
It's crazy how they don't want Africa to have a fair share when a lot of the resources that we have today are from Africa. It's crazy.
Cross. America wants to be on top. Europe wants to be on top. What do you think?
Today, the pound of Britain is one of the strongest currencies. Why? Backed by gold. But when you go to Britain, there is no gold mine. But they've got the biggest gold reserves all over there.
Yeah.
And that's what makes them unique. There is no France. There is no France without Africa.
Of course.
The day Africa liberates itself from France, France will collapse as a country, because France, it is based on everything African. They don't have anything to offer to themselves. They keep on taking from Africa. So please, let's make sure that we plow the idea, ones who have planted that idea amongst our children, and our children will salute us forever. Today.
No, man. Africa is waking up, man. Africa is for another decade, but Africa is waking up, man. Definitely waking up. Legends, internet kingpin.
Of ex-internet kingpin, Ross, Mr. Silk Road Albrecht. Born on March 27th, 1984, in Austin, Texas. He is the creator
he's from Texas.
of the dark website Silk Road.
Oh,
Silk
okay.
Road was a dark web. It was credit card information.
Well, damn.
Plus, I even heard you can buy body parts off of it, such
Ew.
as organs. Ross attended college, would move on to Penn State University, where he graduated in 2008.
Got his
After he
master's?
graduated from Penn State, he would move back to Austin, Texas. Once he returned back to Austin, he started day trading. But he did not enjoy day trading, so he decided to start a video game. Come up with the name Underground Brokers. but decided to change it to Silk Road, where people could buy anything with no trail or trace back to them. Silk Road was a data encrypted website. A person couldn't access Silk Road on
Without
a
a
regular
VPN.
internet browser. The only way you could get over the internet. The Tor network was a network that would hide somebody's IP address. People who did business on Silk
Damn.
Road made transactions using Bitcoins. All Bitcoin transactions were recorded in a public ledger called the blockchain. From 2011 to 2013, Silk Road had really spent a dime of it because he was still living with roommates. In 2011, the feds would start investigating.
29 million and you got roommates? I can understand not spending none of the money because you don't want it to, like, you know, get traced back to you, but like you at least ain't got no house.
When thousands of packages was coming from overseas. Most of the packages were containing a small amount of drugs. The feds found that unusual because when most packages come from overseas, it be containing a lot of drugs. One day, the feds will intercept one of the packages, so they decided to do a controlled delivery. The person's Silk Road account so they can start their investigation. During this investigation, 2 federal agents became corrupt. They were stealing Bitcoins from people and started giving Ross information about the feds' investigation. Ross would even put a $750,000 hit on 5 people, but he didn't know the person he was talking to about the hit was a federal agent. Ross's username was Dread Private Roberts. The feds found out who Ross was through a chat that contained his email under his real name. In 2013, he was arrested at a library in San Francisco. He is serving life.
Goodness, and that was a white collar crime. That was a white collar crime. Goodness. Wow. That is something else on YouTube before I wrap this up. Before I wrap this thing up, man. Wrap this thing up. Going on here. Oh yeah, let me make sure I bring up YouTube. Hold up. Let's make sure we bring up YouTube. Let's see.
Get her. That's the favorite line. You get her.
No, listen, I don't listen, any girl, I don't give a fuck who she is. If
You better stop it.
Hold on now.
Because I'll get that bazooka right out that closet.
You can't though. You can't though.
You better stop it.
I stand by that.
You better stop it.
Now, I stand by that.
Stop.
There's no bazooka to get.
Stop, y'all.
It's not.
Because if that was the case, then why would you ever be questioning me about why your ex is at my house?
Boom. Because you made the statement that you would never do that.
I wouldn't do it.
But
Ex is at somebody's house. It's her pussy. It's her pussy. Why you cursing and screaming?
You always do
Why
this.
you don't have to scream? I'm your friend. I love you.
I'm going to be a church mouse.
I did not do that to you because I love you.
No, you asked me a question, and then when I went to answer it, you cut me off. That's what took place.
This is a dialogue.
I know, so let me answer your question. Dialogue, man.
The name of this
You asked me a question, let me answer.
Why don't we having arguments like this? Like a podcast is the only one. Like, come on now. People argue all like y'all act like y'all don't argue all the time with y'all's friends about something, like whether it be Michael Jordan versus LeBron James or particularly we argue like this. So it just comes down to being passionate, and it's made to look like they're like verbally attacking each other.
We had a conversation on what to do. No, don't let him deter you. Don't let him distract you. We had a conversation on what I would and wouldn't do. Joe said I would never do X, Y, and Z. I started laughing. It was on the podcast.
Yep, I remember.
I started laughing. So Joe like, what's so funny? Ha ha. I'm saying, yo, you would do that. He said, no, I wouldn't. I said, yes, you would. You had my ex in your fucking house filling up with.
You
Joe
moving
said,
it and you
I don't
screaming.
even talk to the girl my man's exes. Am I
Yes.
wrong? Am I wrong?
That's a
Clark?
fact, yes.
Am I wrong?
That's a fact. That is
But
what I'm
it
saying.
makes you look like a hypocrite,
You
Joe.
lying because you have talked to my exes before. I didn't say I gave a fuck. I was pointing out that you did it.
Sounds
that
like
you
you
were
do.
in your house with my ex-bitch of 9 years smoking hookah. So you said that he's lying about
Because
never
you're bringing
doing
it
that.
up.
So you didn't care
That was
initially
a
when you found out.
Yeah, she told me. I never approached him. I didn't give a fuck.
But she didn't tell you.
She did tell me
She
that.
didn't tell you.
You're wrong.
Then why was she there?
I don't know. I don't know why she was there.
Let's
I
just let that out.
I never even grilled it. How would I find that out, Joe? Either you had to tell me or she had to tell me. Who else?
I know she didn't tell you initially when she was there.
I didn't say the time. I didn't even speak. I wasn't speaking to the girl.
Why she was there.
I wasn't even talking to the girl.
But your girl of 9 years never told you why she was there. And then you start questioning your man on the podcast.
I didn't question my man.
That's where.
Stop.
That's where it's
different. Now you're moving the goalpost.
I'm not moving the goalpost.
You are.
Tell me how. I'm asking like,
you're moving the goalpost because his point is not that you were there talking to his ex or whatever. It was you said I would never do that, and he's proving to you did do that. That was the point.
He's pulling out.
What did I say?
You said y'all wouldn't even entertain them. I wouldn't talk to them. You said you felt funny going to the strip club talking to Imani's old girl at the bar.
That's a fact.
Just saying hi.
That's a
like
fact.
I wouldn't entertain them. I wouldn't do none of that.
Joe Biden would not entertain and would feel
what's her name? Melissa Ford left.
Comfortable conducting conversation with any of y'all exes. So if a conversation happened with one of y'all exes, there had to be a way that she finagled that to happen, right? And if she finagled that to happen, she probably was trying to finagle something else, right? Girlfriend of 9 years, but she didn't. She managed to tell you none of anything.
Possibility.
But she managed to tell you none of anything. So Joe is very.
Let me answer you. This is a very simple concept.
And you did care because you brought up mad years later. You don't speak to. I don't speak to. You brought it up. You cared.
You are wrong.
That nigga cared.
You are mad wrong.
It
Number
was
one,
somewhere
the
in
nigga
your
cared,
mind.
and he was damn near accusing me of something, implying some
You
shit.
told me I fucked your bitch. That's when that came out, nigga. You accused me of fucking your bitch.
Wait, I said that this part too.
And I never fucked the bitch. No,
I'm consistent in what I said. I said that this part.
He asked me a question I would love to answer.
I didn't ask you shit.
You just asked me how the bitch got to your house. You let her come in your house. She can't finagle you to come in the house that you pay the rent.
So you don't know. So you don't know how she got now. So you don't know how she got now. So you don't know how she got.
Look, I'm not thanking you for that. I don't care if you.
But you're yelling at me for it.
Because you won't let me speak. You asked me a question and then you won't let me answer. You cut me off.
Look how you're speaking to your friend.
Seriously.
Look how he's speaking.
No, but you're gaslighting.
Look how he's speaking to me.
But you're gaslighting, Joe. That's right. No girl can walk in your house under no pretenses at all.
That's not true.
Yo, dog, can I finish my... That's one. Number two, you allowed a person to come into your home. I wasn't talking to Joe, and I wasn't talking to the girl. So the girl can't facilitate Joe hooking me back up with her if I don't speak to Joe.
Did she know you didn't speak to Joe?
Yes.
How, if you wasn't talking to her?
Because me and Joe fell out before me and her fell out.
Gotcha. I'm just asking questions.
So again, me and Joe didn't talk for 6 hours, her wanting to fuck Joe. I never negated that.
Let me ask you another question. Is it possible she might have thought you and Joe were cool?
Possible.
And could have went over there trying to finesse that back?
Possible.
I'm just asking.
Possible, yeah.
We got to prove beyond a reasonable doubt.
I said possible. Okay. I'm not negating that. Okay. What I'm saying, of course, I never get the opportunity to finish my sentence.
Because none you say matters.
Every time
niggas have liked and loved whatever she said to get in the house clearly was some bullshit, nigga, because she had another plan. What are you talking about?
Who said? Nobody said anything.
What are you talking? Yes, it's a fact.
Accepting that you said something to the total contrary, which is I wouldn't hold no conversations with y'all niggas bitches.
Now one day when she feel like telling you the truth, she could tell you what was said to her face. Which supports my point of I would look at y'all bitches like they are Martians if they tried that shit with me. Hey,
y'all bitches, I wouldn't talk to y'all bitches. I would never da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Opening the door like a hoop is not containing a bitch. That's what we did to calm down.
Sometimes people use tactics to get your crib too, Ish.
Of course.
Who said that? Who said that's not true? Who said that's not a possibility?
You're just saying that the fact that he had to...
I'm saying that Joe did something that he starkly says he does not do. That's the fucking point.
Ish, that's your point, right? If he's saying he don't entertain... What's your definition of entertain? Because it sounds like he has a different definition of entertain.
Joe said he won't hold a conversation with our bitches.
Don't start losing context now. I have regular. I'm not. You just need to keep up. I have conversations with all of y'all old bitches still to this day. That's not what the fuck we were saying.
That wasn't.
I would not be having a conversation trying to pop your old bitch. Nor would I dignify she was trying to pop. You talk about a fucking hookah with your sensitive ass. Shut your fucking.
I'm far from sensitive, nigga. I don't give a fuck.
People of East argue differently, man. I don't think it could get to this extent right here. But yeah, man, I am going to be shutting this down. Hopefully you enjoyed the podcast. If not, that's cool too. I'll be back on another day for the Just Facts